Yo, what up? What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Blood Splatter Chatter. We are live here on a special time, special for now. Might very well become the permanent time. Here on Thursday afternoon, we're going to talk about 2020's The Invisible Man, directed by Lee Winnell, starring Elizabeth Moss. And I got the regular homies with me, Mr. Stu from Dr. Doom's fan club. My brother, what's happening?
What up, man? So yeah, happy to be here at this new time. Cozy little afternoon show. Great film. Yeah. How we doing?
I'm doing good. Sipping some. I was like, okay, I'm gonna make some coffee. It's the afternoon, and then I'm like, all right, I already had way too much coffee. I'll make some. I'll make some decaf so I don't go fucking bonkers during this. But my
Right.
brother, who's used to joining me in the afternoon on Sundays, Link, my man, what's happening?
Happy to be here. I mean, I've been ready for this film. I don't know. Brennan, did you hear about it, Stu?
I just told you to.
Okay. Let's chat. I hit up Vernal yesterday afternoon. Like, yo, bro, I don't think I got the invite. He's like, yeah, it's Wednesday. You know, the stream's Thursday. I was like, oh my god. Like, I don't know. My days are bleeding together. But I was.
You had me panicking for a couple moments because first I'm like, oh my God, it's Thursday. And I didn't realize it. And then I'm like, oh my God, I fucked up and told him the wrong day.
No, it was all me. It was all me. But I was kind of glad because usually I got to get out of this, like putting things to last minute habit. But it's like sometimes I like to kind of freestyle stuff or have it fresh in the dome, you know, when we watch it. But sometimes it'll bite me in the ass because the site I may or may not use will sometimes have buffering issues. So it's like an hour and a half movie will take me like 3.5 hours to finish it by the time it's finished, you know, because
that sucks.
It's issues, yes. But long story short, I knocked the movie out early this week, and I was like, oh, it feels kind of good, you know, and I can let it kind of marinate, let it simmer. But yeah, I'm happy to be here, excited to talk about this movie.
Hell yeah! Now, as you guys know, since I said we're here in the afternoon, that does mean I'm with child. And I'm like, oh, it's cool. I've deprived her of cartoons all day. She's gonna sit here and watch Moana, and yet here she is wrecking shop already. So I might have to. We'll get this rolling. I might have to take a break. I might have to give her the iPad, and that will probably alleviate the problem. But
you got to do.
Madison, come on over here. But part of the reason, Link, we've been talking about doing this forever because I should have put you up here, so I'm going to send it to you first, actually. Stu, you had seen this before, yes, right?
Correct.
Now, first of all, just to set this thing up, directed by Lee Winnell, who, when I had originally seen this, I didn't realize, like, he's the actor from the original Saw. He's like the guy that's in cahoots with Jigsaw or whatever. So, and then he was in a couple more James Wan movies after that I didn't realize. I didn't realize he's part of the Insidious movies, the first 3, or he directed the third one. He's in the first 2, and then he just recently did the Wolfman, which I have not seen, yes, which is the other Universal monster movie that Blumhouse has done since this, as Madison makes her debut before she goes and watches mommy's iPad. Yes. But I didn't know he did Upgrade either from 2018, yes, which is a movie. I feel like we bring that up on the show all the time. It gets referenced, but I didn't realize that he was the director of that. And the other thing is that this was supposed to become like, I'm going to be right back, guys. This was supposed to become the Universal Monsters like launch. They were going to make a whole big series of these, and they should have struck while the iron was hot because this did awesome. And they didn't make another one until the Wolfman 5 years later. So I feel like they kind of blew an opportunity. Link, I'm going to send it to you. I'll be right back. Just you guys talk about this real quick. I apologize to everyone that's seeing this at the new time, like someone, oh, there's some horror show. They're like, well, these people don't know what the fuck they're doing. We're out of here. But I'll be right back. And by the way, this might not be the new fucking Showtime. Maybe this won't work.
I want to say, I think that the reason that there was a hang up with the Wolfman is because I think I know for sure that Ryan Gosling was attached to it for like the longest time, and I don't know if they're like holding back because of like, you know, he's big time, so it's like I don't know if they're like holding back because he had like filming obligations, but he like dropped out of it after they like kept pushing it back for the longest time. So I wonder if that factored into it. It's a badass film though.
Absolutely, and it's a fantastic. Like, it's such a, like Vern said, it's such a great foundation to rebuild to like do that idea of the Universal Monsters is such a great modern reimagining of the Invisible Man story. So I think they didn't, capitalize on that.
What was the Tom Cruise mummy? Was that like a second? So they tried to reboot it.
I don't know. Yeah, I think that was like another thing, right? Because that was like the whole MonsterVerse or something that they had in mind. But yeah.
So is that like the Universal shit too? Is that like this is the second time they tried to relaunch it? Something like that?
I want to say it is, or maybe I don't know. Maybe that's maybe that was like the second one or part of it or something like that. But yeah, I don't know. That was I definitely remember that as part of like that launch. But
hi. You guys tearing it up, I assume?
Yeah, no, Vern, do you know the Tom Cruise mummy, was that part of like what
question
did that what did that belong to?
Basically, that was Universal's like original plan. That was going to be more like an MCU style shared universe that they were trying to start called the Dark Universe. Basically, that movie came out, it didn't do well, and they canceled it. And then this was the new route they went, where I could see them one day later on being like, yeah, they're all in the same universe. But right now, they're just non-connected stories. Just the two directed by Leigh Whannell. And then I was trying to think, like, I couldn't find anything real clear. It's like, what are they planning on doing in the future? Or are they going to make a sequel to this? Because that was the other rumor right off the bat.
I think they should have ditched the continuity idea and just let it be four or five or different artistic statements, just their own standalone things.
Right. Which, I mean, I could see why at the time, like if you would have asked me in 2017, I would have been like, no, make it connected. That's the coolest thing to do. But like, I think like, first of all, it's not the best way to do storytelling unless you're really, really, really fucking good at it. And second of all, I think people are just kind of over it by now. Two Gun, my brother, appreciate you popping in, and Evan, my homie, what up, fellas?
Yo,
hopefully this kid's sub. I apologize to everyone out there.
No, you're good, dude.
Right,
Maddie, we understand. Man, no, for everyone who just chat, do you guys know who the director is for The Mummy? It'd be kind of dope if Leigh Whannell was directing The Mummy too. Like, let him just kind of handle that little, the monster new Universal horrorverse. I think he's got a good eye, to be honest. He's he knows how to. He's one to watch out for, I think, because he's got like a cool. I've noticed it from like Upgrade to Wolfman to this film. He knows how to like amalgamate like sci-fi. It's like it is a sci-fi. It's almost like sci-fi. It's a horror, but it's like it's layered in like sci-fi thriller vibes. He's got a cool style. But no, yeah, I haven't really talked about this movie. I was like saving it for till you got back. But
okay, well, I was gonna say this is interesting. He's saying Lee Cronin, the guy that did Evil Dead Rise, is directing the new Mummy. I didn't see anything on it, so that's really interesting. That would be like a cool choice because he's so intense.
Yeah. But visually, I think he's there too.
Yeah.
But all right, okay, yeah, I've seen that. All right, what? Yeah, okay, I am dying. Actually, let me set this up like this. This is why I think it's an interesting movie for you, Link, is because first of all, you're like the guy that's seen most of the movies in the past 20 years. So I was really surprised you hadn't seen this one. Second of all, you love Hollow Man. So I know you like that. You like the invisible guy kind of thing. But the thing that you don't like is ghost stories. You're not into ghost stories. And one of the things I always found interesting about this is they kind of treat this like a ghost movie. The way they shoot it, like there's this, like he's invisible, like he's a ghost floating around. It's really shot like that. But I know you like a physical threat, and we all know that there is an actual physical threat to it. So that's why there's all these reasons why you might not like it. You might like or dislike it. But
this was
what you think?
This was I enjoyed it overall. It was an interesting watch just because, like you said, there's so much that I like about it, but clashes at the same time. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I think there were more pros than cons. Like I thought there was a certain thing that caught me off guard with, like, usually in horror thriller movies where it's like the really close-up shots are supposed to evoke like tension and panic maybe because you can't check your surroundings and shit. But in this movie was like the opposite. It's like the more open space is like, oh shit, where the fuck is he gonna come from? Like where's he gonna that? The more open shots, the more like paranoid I got because I was like, oh god, bro, like where's he at? but yeah, this had some great performances, a really cool concept. Certain things I think I was just kind of like realistically, I think it would have played out, you know, but this is a movie. I have to, you know, I have to give it that leeway. But overall, I enjoyed it. I think it is kind of like, I'm trying to word this carefully. It's definitely an allegory film. It's got a lot of allegories and themes, but I think it's kind of steeped in, I don't even want to say the Me Too movement, but like the film, the dude is just playing a bad guy. We never get any backstory with them. We barely, like, to the point where we see him at the beginning for the first 5 minutes, briefly, because he's belligerent attacking, and it's quick shots in the dark, to the point where we finally see him at the end, you know, spoilers, that I'm like, is that the dude? You know, I didn't really get it. I didn't know who the fuck the dude was. So it's like, I don't, he was just an overall bad guy. I would have appreciated more layers, since this is a deep topic, or what they were, you know, they handled it eloquently enough, but because it's such a layered topic, I would have appreciated more backstory on him, instead of just like making he's just this outright crazy fuck that nobody else sees. That, you know, you know, but overall, that's a story for another day, because at the end of the day, this is a horror movie. They can't spend their whole time extrapolating stuff on that. But
and it is 2 hours long, because I'm sitting there thinking that too. It's like, I partially agree with you because of how little we get, but then it's 2 hours already, and they squeeze a lot in. It's like, I don't need another 15 minutes learning about this invisible fella.
But no, overall, great performances. Fucking Elizabeth Moss. Aldrich. I can never pronounce his name. But Hawkman. Aldrich Hodge. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hawkman, my man. They're both great. I didn't really care for the boyfriend to be. I mean, he wasn't really in it, you know. But you know, but when he was at the dinner scene, there's something about him that was very annoying to me.
You know who he is? I don't know. Well, actually, you haven't seen it. Maybe Stu has. Haunting of Hill House. He plays Luke. He's the brother that's addicted to drugs and shit.
Yeah.
And that, I don't know if he's in any of the other Flanagan series. I'm not sure.
It's like he's got like I think it was like a physical thing with me, because he had like these like two really buck teeth.
His teeth? I noticed his teeth too. I don't know why they stood out to me so much.
It looks like Insidious. I don't know.
So funny.
But overall, no, yeah, this was a fun ride. Label and all, because I love Upgrade. That's the one I've been preaching from the mountaintops for years. That's the Venom movie that we should have gotten. But I think he's an interesting director, and this is another one on the goalpost. You know, he's making his mark with these interesting horror sci-fi movies that he's doing. I liked it.
Hell yeah. Mr. Stu said, not a first time watch for you. How was the rewatch?
I loved it, dude. Yeah, I think it's a fantastic film. I love the pace of it. I love the way it's shot, the way they, like Link said, they incorporate open space, but you know how he always just focuses on nothing, you know, and sometimes those are the most unnerving parts of the film. And also the way he uses the sound of the suit and blends it in to like all the different atmospheric things going on, I think is brilliant. But yeah, it's dope. It is like the 2 hour thing doesn't really feel, you know, too long to me. It's, you know, I think it does get slow in some points, but at the same time, I don't see any reason to really omit anything with the film. I think it does a good job of, you know, telling a well-rounded story, and you really get, you know, the time you spend with, you know, her friends and her sister and, you know, those close to her, you get fairly invested with all those folks, and just some straight up shocking moments, you know, that still got me the second time around. So, yeah, man, I enjoyed it. I see what you guys are saying about the Me Too thing. And, you know, I definitely think it could have been, I could have used a scene or two more with the boyfriend as well, just to give it some more, just like waking up. I do like how, you know, we started out with her waking up and leaving the house in a panic, and like the end, it was her leaving the house in a whole nother vibe. Right. But that was like a cool juxtaposition. But at the same time, like it just would have been more interesting to see a little bit more of that dynamic instead of it all being on Elizabeth Moss to carry kind of like the after effects of it, which she did a great job of.
Right.
And some of that is why the movie works so well. I think is her ability to bear that burden. But yeah, I don't know.
I feel like I don't know. It's something I hadn't really thought too much about. I feel like it is now that you guys say it. I feel like I have heard people say like, "Well, where the fuck is the Invisible Man?" Not just that they couldn't see him, but like, where is the guy? Like, make him a bigger part of the movie.
Right.
I feel like part of the reason why I like it, first of all, just the approach. Like they could do the way this story is traditionally sold or told. Like it's been a while since I've seen Hollow Man, but isn't Hollow Man the same thing of like once he becomes invisible, whatever the experiment that he's going through starts to like make him a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
Right. And that's how a lot of these stories, a lot of Invisible Man movies would work. And usually the Invisible, like the original is one that's blasphemous to say, but I don't fucking like. I get what its place in cinema history, but the Invisible Man in that, he is the bad guy and he's like your main character and you don't like him. And it's just like, what, you know what I mean? The writing is terrible, I think, because like there's no way to connect to it because there's no person he's against. So to make the Invisible Man the bad guy and not the main character, I love that route. But I think making that opening scene kind of sells it to where you don't even need him. Like I think they get away with it for me because the opening scene, which is like I say this a lot, but it's like it's one of the best opening scenes in horror. Just the way it's like Scream, where it could be its standalone thing. This could just be this thing about a woman in an abusive relationship, no invisibility that matters, and it's still like really, really good. And it tells her story so strong that you get his story enough, I feel like, to make the movie work, even though I get like that it would be lacking that.
Yeah, no, you're so invested in what's going on in that. Like when she kicks the dog bowl, you just met her, you know what I mean? But you want her to get out of the situation. You want her to get free, and like you're hanging on every pin drop. It's so good.
Now, the only reason I feel to counter that with the more time with the boyfriend. So it's like his brother, the slimy lawyer. We find out he's a piece of shit as well, but we get time with him, and it's like we didn't think he was that much of a piece of shit, but he was a piece of shit. But there's this whole weird relationship implied that, I would have liked some backstory on it as to why these are some sick, sadistic, like he's blaming his brother's blaming him, but they're secretly both fucking on each other's team. Like it was a weird dynamic that I just would have, appreciated some a little bit of backstory on, instead, because now I'm left wondering like, well, what's his brother got against her? Why do they have such a deep bond? Like if my sister kills someone or is trying to be on some crazy shit, I'm not backing that, like where do you draw the line?
What they're trying to sell, and I don't know if I just picked this up from the movie or honestly if I picked it up from special features and shit. I listened to some interviews with the brother, and I think he is talking about, in his mind, is like his brother has been abusive to him his whole life. Like Elizabeth Moss has pretty much replaced the brother in that relationship, and he's like, you piece together that the guy that is the Invisible Man is just insanely controlling and manipulative. So much so that he's got the brother to do all this because that's how he's been like groomed his whole life, is to be his little bitch. One little fun fact is that the brother, because I did a bunch of fun facts on these when I was doing the shorts, but the brother is wearing a suit that's like 2 or 3 sizes too small the whole time, just to like make him feel more uncomfortable and out of place. And there's something about that when it's pointed out, you look at him like, yeah, what the fuck are you wearing?
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome.
There was moments when he was like leaning in, talking to Elizabeth Moss that it did. There's just like, man, there's just something that seems very uptight about, and it was like the suits. I was like, Jesus Christ, my bro, relax.
I love I love the reveal when he like, you find out he's, your suspicions are confirmed and you find out he's been a part of it all along. It's
right.
I'm like, you like son of a bitch. I knew it. It was like a Scooby moment almost. Like I fucking knew it.
That up by This is another fun fact. She calls him, Elizabeth Moss calls him the jellyfish version
Yes, it's
of her
so
brother.
good, man.
Well, then later on, when they're attacking the young girl at her house, she's wearing a shirt with a jellyfish on it to indicate that it's him at the time and not the actual
Oh,
Invisible.
that's dope. Nice pickup, man.
Oh, fuck. While I'm doing fun facts, I got one more.
That's dope.
At one point, like when she's leaving the hospital or the prison or whatever, you see some graffiti on the wall, and there's a jigsaw drawing on the wall as a little note.
Oh, shout out to Saw.
From Lee
Hell yeah, that's dope.
Yo, I wanted I did the whole Invisible Man where he's like a master manipulator. I did like the play on words where it's just like he's the guy in the background. And you're like, no, not that guy. He's not a piece of shit. No, he's a good guy, you know. And meanwhile, he's like the biggest like gaslighter in the world, you know. Like, so I did like the play, and not only was he physically, you know, invisible, but that was the theme of the movie as well, which I thought was cool.
What up, Chill? Yeah, right. I mean, I think that's kind of cool too. Like the Invisible Man is like not seen in this movie barely at all. Which is that kind of works.
I can give credit for that.
Just to round out the cast, I thought the sister. You're right. Like everybody that's like a side character is good. I really like the sister. The family that she's staying with, both really solid.
Yes. Absolutely.
Was the sister from Babysitter's Club or Alex Mack? Was she?
I can look her up. Her name is Harriet Dreyer.
I don't think that
was her.
And
she. Colin from Accounts, Killing Ground, The In Between, bunch of shit I've never heard of.
You took it back with Alex Mack, bro.
10 Things I Hate About You. Those are the only things I have reference for that shit. You know, she wore the baby belly or whatever. The dad made her wear the baby belly. Julia Stiles' younger sister. And, yeah, that's what I thought it was. That's why.
Man, how shocking was her death? Like that was like one of those.
Well, yeah, let's get into that. What's your favorite part of the movie then, Stu? Is that your favorite? Because to me, that's going through the movie this time. Because when I saw the movie originally, I'm like, oh, I loved it. I think me and my wife saw it in the theater, loved it, fucking bought it, watched it again like a couple years ago, and I was like, okay, maybe it's not quite as good as I thought for whatever reason. Maybe it was, I don't know. And then I watched it this time. I'm like, fucking maybe the best I've ever experienced a movie, and I was really impressed with like, damn, this happens and that happens and that happens. And it's like so many cool scenes and all like these horror set pieces on top of each other that all kind of do the same thing, make her look crazy. And really, that's the big thing. Is like they all kind of lead in one direction, to like fuck with her head. But I loved it. What was your favorite part, Stu?
Yeah, for me, I think the sequence where his suit is glitching out and the psych
fucks up the security guards.
He's just going crazy on the and then the rain in the parking lot was pretty epic. Also, when it's the brother in the house and he's just beating the hell out of dad and Sydney's like right there having to witness it. That's just brutal. Like that one thing where he's just trying to wave him away. I
was about to say that. I love his performance there. Like
God, it's like he's just barely conscious. Yeah, that was brutal. That was like one of the scarier scenes because the violence was just so right there in your face. So those were two of the favorites. Yeah, and of course, like the dinner scene is just so monumental.
Yeah. So, Link, what about you? First time watch?
I personally thought the dinner scene was terrible. Just
really?
Because that's
my favorite scene.
So what he slices the bitch's throat and then he grabs her hand and puts a knife in her hand. How he can control her limbs?
It's a reflex. I did it to my toddler, and they.
I mean, the movie did movies, but I'm just saying. I thought that shit was thought that was a very cheap scene. There was a lot of cool scenes. Like I love where he.
Another one like that is the paint because I agree with you. Like when he gets paint dumped on him, then he walks over and just washes it off at the sink. It's like, bitch, that's not how paint works. You know what I mean? There's a few moments like that.
No, the paint scene is weird because
too. It's like, oh yeah, you got it all in the sink.
I enjoyed the paint scene just because I was just. But then at the same time, I was like, bitch, you just got open paint in your house, just waiting for ready for that moment. Like, I would have appreciated a moment where she's like talking to Aldous Hodge. Yeah. Were they painting in her house at one point?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, he had the ladder, right? They were doing renovations. Yeah, they like, I think early on when she was staying there, like there's a shot of him like doing something with the ceiling or something. Yeah,
I can let that slide then because
close your paint can.
I loved
the paint scene.
The dinner. No, but the dinner scene, dude, I love because of the way they lulled you to sleep with the conversation. Like things were so tense between them, and they were starting to break the ice and get a little familiar, and then that shit just comes out of nowhere. Like,
but
you don't even see
but I don't know. It was.
It's just crazy.
She's just like nobody in this bitch sees a knife just hovering in the air, and then it's just like the sister's like, "What the fuck is that?" And like, swipe here, take the knife, and then just right after that, finally someone just sees the knife in someone's hand. Didn't see it hovering in the fucking air, but they see it in someone's hand right after that. I'm just saying, my suspension of disbelief was questioned and pushed for that scene. Not saying it was terrible.
I don't get me wrong, it crossed my mind. Because I thought the same thing. Okay, he must have grabbed your arm. And I don't know, something goes in your hand. I can see you just grabbing it. But to me, the suspension of disbelief is worth it for the payoff, I think. Like, Stu, you kind of nailed it. It's the fact that it comes out of nowhere. You are totally invested in this relationship, and you're like, oh, they're about to bridge the gap and form their bond and go fight this invisible motherfucker together. It's like, nope. Like that's what I liked about it.
No, I get vibes from it early on that the sister is just kind of going to be cannon fodder, just because it's like initially when she picked her up, it's like, bitch, you see someone attacking your sister, it's fight or flight. Either it's take off or you're going to run that motherfucker over. You're sitting there letting him pound on the window like, what's going on? Why is he trying to attack you? It takes for him to break through the fucking window for her to finally pull off. So I just thought, the sister was kind of useless. Like, I didn't see them teaming up together to go take down the bad guy.
I'm surprised he didn't bite through the window. Fuck.
Yeah, no, he was like a rabid dog, bro. I was shit. That was one of the scenes where I was just like, okay, this is a movie. It can't be reality, because it's like like I said, the sister's like, what's going on? And I'm like, bro, I'm either stepping out the car and running that motherfucker over in reality, like if that's what our sibling, like
it took her way too long to peel off, bro.
Yeah, that was my thing.
Like, okay, I'm going.
There's one scene in the deleted scenes, which I see why they deleted it, but I like the idea of it. It's like, how when she goes to that meeting and she opens up her briefcase and it's empty, and you're like, what the fuck was just in here? First of all, I like that. That's kind of reminds me of like the cat scene in Smile, that like cringe horror, like embarrassment type shit. They could have leaned into that even harder. Like throughout this whole movie, there could be more embarrassing moments. Like, oh, I look crazy in front of these people. But what was I getting? Oh, in this deleted scene, while she's getting ready to go to work, she's looking all around. Where's my phone? Where's my phone? Like, she's late for the shit. And then like she finds it and she sets it down, and then she's putting the stuff in her briefcase. And he reaches up off the table and he just takes her phone and shit. And she's like, I just fucking had it. And it's like, I don't know, just the fact that we can all relate to that. Like, dude, I'm sick of looking for this goddamn phone. I can't tell you how often I say that. So just that idea of someone,
like, I know I just put it right here,
and separating them and shit. It's like,
there could have been, there could have been more moments like that throughout this movie where he's like trying to make her, but I feel like he amped it up. Like, he could have tried to make her go crazy a little bit more to like fuck with her before really just, because once he killed the sister and framed her, it's like, going into overdrive. There's no coming back from that. There was endgame for both of them. What? Okay, so this is another thing that threw me off. How did they? I was lost on this. How did they explain him faking his death?
They said his brother tied him up. Remember, he got found.
Yeah, but how did he fake the death though? Did they ever show like his body or how they got away with it?
I don't know. I assume
enough money and enough power, and you can do anything. Yeah. That's part of it. You're right. I don't know if they explain it away at all. I don't remember.
He framed it to like have his brother take his brother found him or something. I don't know. I don't like.
I think it's the money.
The body though. Like, I'll take your word for it. Did you bury him? You buried him? Okay, don't worry about it.
Like you said, he's got the money. Because at the beginning, when you go into this house, I thought this was like the fucking. Remember at the end of Amazing Spider-Man 2 when he's working on like the Vulture and like all these different prototype design. Like, my man's had a fucking weapons lab in his basement. Like, and okay, no one. What's with how's he's gonna develop this technology for this suit that can bend light and make you invisible, and it's groundbreaking technology, and he's going to use it to harass his girlfriend.
At first, he's working on some other shit, but its first uses are to fuck with Elizabeth Moss. I assume because she calls him a a world leader in optics or whatever, something like that. I assume he's also like the military's probably got him. This is just the way he's using it personally that we know of, that they filmed
for sure. Yeah, the military's
That's
already got
what-
like 60 of them.
That's what I'm saying. I would have appreciated more backstory on this dude. There's a lot of interesting stuff to make him this weird monster. Like, you know, the whole sci-fi spin. Like, I did think that was cool where it wasn't like a serum because I thought that's what it was going to be. But when I found out it was like this cool ass suit, I was like, okay, that's pretty badass, you know?
It fits the believability of like what I think of, like, take something crazy like the Iron Man suit and make it believable.
Yeah, the suit reveal scene is super dope. Like when she opens up the room and like, you know, like interacts with it. It's like, even though there's nobody in it, it feels spooky as shit.
Right. I think there's quite a few like scary moments in the movie. I've said it many times, but like ghost movies are, if you're gonna scare me, it's gonna be with a ghost movie. And the way this treats it like a ghost movie, there's quite a few really suspenseful scenes. The kitchen scene we didn't mention is pretty badass. The way she gets lifted up and she's fighting with him in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Did you, Link? I wonder. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Link, because you and I did the whole Paranormal Activity franchise on Pop Culture Philosophers for Horror Fest. Did that franchise cross your mind at all with some of these scenes?
Which oddly enough, Oddity popped in my head when she calls his phone and she hears it ringing in her attic. Yeah. But that was the one reference. But yeah, I definitely got Paranormal Activity vibes, especially when he's like tossing her to the kitchen, bro. I'm like, yeah.
It was like also, you remember like the oscillating fan in one of the Paranormal Activity movies? They do that. This is just another thing I like in general throughout the movies, is when they just show you an empty spot in the room. And you're like, oh shit, he's in there. He's there. Yep. There's another deleted scene where the people whose house she's staying at, they come home and she's just sitting in the room and she's like, there's someone in that chair. And they're like, that chair? And it's like, she seems so fucking crazy. It's probably why they took it out. It's like too crazy, too fast. That's it. Like when she gets arrested and she's like, he's in the room. They're like, you're saying there's someone in this room right now and we can't see him? Like, yes. Like, that's part of the reason why I picked it is because it's a mad scientist movie, but it's one of the better gaslighting movies of all time.
Yeah.
Which is a term, no one fucking used that term until like 20 minutes ago. I'd never heard it.
I was like, someone said that to me. My first experience with gaslighting, when someone said I was doing it to them, I was like, I'm what? I had to look it up. I'm gaslighting.
I was like, I do that shit all the time. That's what the fuck I do. Okay. My bad. I've been doing that since I was a kid.
Fun fact that Aldous Hodge and his daughter both played in DC movies. He played Hawkman. She was in she played Idris Elba's daughter in the Suicide Squad.
Okay.
Yeah.
She looks super familiar, but I never did look up what she was in.
I think she's been in a few other things, to be honest. But I don't.
Her name is actress. Oh, okay. She is this girl that's done a bunch of things recently. I thought so. She was in this thriller called Missing last year. She was in A Wrinkle in Time for Disney. She was in Euphoria. That's what I thought. She's in Euphoria.
Oh yeah. Zendaya. I think she's.
Isn't she? What's her name? Sister in Euphoria?
Zendaya's sister.
Yeah, Zendaya's sister.
Yeah. She's in The Last of Us, which I never saw that first season.
That's right. She's Homegirl's friend.
Yeah.
I need to watch that.
She's been in everything.
I might.
Yeah,
it's really good. Man.
They did catch up on that and do a show on it before April 13th. I don't fucking know if that's gonna happen.
They did an excellent job with that show.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, my friends. So I just wanted to mention, Stu, you kind of mentioned sound design a little bit, just like when you were talking about his suit. I thought the music in general and the sound right from the rip, right off the get-go, it's awesome. And it just stays really intense the whole time. It's got like there's bits of it that sound really classic. I don't know what the Invisible Man original score was like, but there's parts of it that make me think old, like Universal movies, like strings going, but with all this like new age flair, like this, like
they have those like
just noise. You know what I mean?
That
like
big,
that
kind
of like techno or the dubstep or shit. Random instruments.
2020, it was kind of closer to the peak of that EDM dubsteppy era, but I thought it was fire.
It is. It's
as
so
far
well
as One thing I'm thinking, obviously, the themes, not like we're all like, Me Too, is it? What is it? It's just like women, like a, abusive relationship. It's all right there on the surface, but it's also like layered at the same time too. You can dig deeper into it about this, like your trauma is this invisible thing that's following you around. It's actually gone. It's not even there anymore. But your past is just like wrapped up in that, which is the way they do that. Just like her descent, like we've said it before. We're just like the trauma that you see on her fucking face, and just like, oh, it makes me anxious just to look at her face at times throughout this movie.
Yeah, it reminded me of Homegirl
like,
from the Babadook, like the same way she just kind of came unraveled, and then she wore it so much. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's go ahead and wrap this bad boy up. Kick it off for us, Stu. Anything else that you want to add? Anything we didn't get to? And then your rating out of 5. You guys in the chat, if you've seen this one, your ratings out of 5.
No, man, I think this one is going to be a 5 out of 5 for me. I thoroughly enjoyed every minute of it. It's on the rewatch. It was just as entertaining and had me on the edge of my seat as it did originally. I think it's like you said, Vern. It's really smart. It does a lot of things thematically really well. Amazing performances from all involved. Great score. A really cool modern reimagining of an old classic. And yeah, I think it kind of sucks for what could have been with these Universal IPs, but this one was special, and I think a home run. And yeah, well, despite some of like the topical chains that it does have, related to this generation, some of the things, I think this movie is going to, live on as
for sure,
a fantastic adaptation. So 5 out of 5 for me.
It's kind of timeless, I feel like, because it's not like there's ever going to be a time where there's not women in abusive relationships or men in abusive relationships. Probably a little bit different, but yeah, this shit is timeless, and making it grounded kind of helps with that too. There's nothing I could see aging poorly in the movie, for sure. Steph,
I'm just waiting for that real life invisible suit. You know what I mean? Like I don't,
right?
I can't wait to see that technology.
Probably here, right? Fucking, now they're in the room. The government is in the room. Link, with your rating, this is a movie we'll probably do, you and I, if not in a couple weeks soon, is the Wolfman. So don't go too in depth, but it got really mixed reviews. I know we're both a fan of Chris Abbott, who's the lead guy in that. You saw it, right?
Yeah.
Real briefly, like, what did you think?
I enjoyed it. I like I said, I like his style, but I can understand people's qualms. It wasn't what I was expecting. I don't even think the trailer it's not even what the trailer is promoting, but I still enjoyed it. The look of it, I got what they're going for. But I definitely understand people's qualms with it. I will say I won't reveal it yet. I don't want to say too much.
Worth a watch, though. You think for me, so worth a watch.
Yeah, it's got an incredible cast. I can't wait to see that one.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
A 4 from my brother Two Gun Pedro. Pew, pew, pew. Thanks for being here, man. All right, what are you rating Invisible Man then? 2020 stuff.
Question about the end. Did you guys think that Aldous Hodge see, this is where I was like, all right, see, I got to get out of reality, because in reality, if someone harms my child, you forfeit your reason to exist in my eyes, so it's like I thought he was like in on it, getting paid, but she's in there having dinner, he's gonna put on the invisible suit, go handle the man while she's in the bathroom, walk out. But then at the end he like walks. I mean, I was confused by the tone of that, because I was like, initially I thought he was gonna do it, because like, yeah, bro, you should be in on this. They beat your daughter, like. But then it's like he's like kind of giving her shit about it, but then he's like, I understand, like, bro, pick a side. Do you understand? Are you mad at her? Like, did you guys think
he should have involved her? I think it makes it a little clunkier than it needs to be. I get his dilemma, because he's a cop, and if you were to tell me that he went over there and killed this guy on his own, I wouldn't believe that either. I'd be like, no, I don't think he would do that. But I think he would be like, well, bitch, get back here. I know you just cut this guy's head off. You're going to jail. Like, that's the part that I don't like about it. Like, don't even tell him. He's not down with that.
Yeah,
I think he didn't kill the daughter. He didn't kill her. He didn't assault. Like, he fucked her up, but you know what I mean? That's the different story. If he'd have killed her, if he'd have done something like sexual with her, then yeah, we're cutting this dude's dick off.
No, I mean, not only did
he
he beat his daughter, but he almost beat him to within an inch of his life as well.
True.
You know, so it's a lot of reasons to strike back.
Yeah, I
What
think
up,
she had
Bobby?
him
What
had
up?
him there as backup in case something went wrong. Even though I don't know what he's gonna do with against the guy in an invisible suit if something did go wrong. But yeah, I think
Right.
but yeah, very slick
You
how
know
she
what?
planned all that.
Maybe it was like he kind of was like, I can't be mad because you were in a tight spot, because it's like she kind of used him to make shit work in her favor. Like, you saw it, you were there, like, you know, you
Mhm.
heard everything, like, and
Yeah.
he was like, he knew what was up, but he's like, I get it. You know, this was this
Mhm.
rat bastard. He had to go. Can't be Batman. Always letting Joker go free. You know, so you know, and so sometimes it might be the best recourse, you know, with the manipulators, because it's like, oh no, not that guy. You gotta go hard and go savage, and you know, in order to take out someone like that. Sometimes, I don't know. That was a little clunky though, because I kind of wanted it to be dressage. To be honest, I was like, oh yeah, he's gonna get his hands dirty.
Not to me, that
Yeah,
would have been
No,
like,
it
why the
had to
fuck are you
be
having
her
this
though.
side character that
Yeah, it had to be her.
it had, yeah,
well,
it had to be.
yeah, oh
And she's
yeah,
got to get back for all that trauma. Madison's
Yeah.
about to come give her score,
oh
but
shit. Okay, all right. I'll give it a solid 3.75 with room to grow. It was entertaining, great performances, but there were moments in the movie, like I've discussed with you guys, that just had me questioning certain things. And even though it's a good question, it kind of took me out of it. Where it's like, well, wait a minute, you know. But very entertaining. Definitely worth watching, and I definitely see myself reviewing it, and giving it a higher score in the future. 3.75.
Oh yeah.
hell yeah, no, I was like we said, like I said at the top, there's a bunch of different things that I was curious what you would think of it. But I did cross my mind a few times. Like, there's moments that take you out of the film, but it didn't, not all of it worked for me. Like, all of
Yeah.
it was like, to me, it wasn't like something that just ruined anything for me. I could give it a 5 right there with my man Stu. I'm gonna give it a 4.75. I will say, I even like, there's something about like when she gives that money to the girl, like that made me want to tear up a little bit. There's like moments like that in movies, like squeezed into a horror movie, like I love. Like when you really connect with
That
like
I gotta watch a
moments.
movie with you, man, and see you shed real
Yeah.
tears. I gotta have one of we gotta have one of these moments
I'm
together.
not saying like when I say that, there's never actual tears coming out, but
I
I'm like,
know.
you know what I mean? You can feel like, oh, they're working on making some fucking tears back there. I better shut that shit down.
I'm
But
gonna
no,
give you a real tearjerker to watch, and
We gotta watch Sophie's Choice together or something, bro.
yeah.
you should see it when Yondu dies. It's inconsolable. Spoiler alert. I'll give it a 4.75, a 5 from Stu, a 3.75 from the missing link, a 4.2 from Bobby Delgado, and again a 4
Bubbo.
from Two Gun. Pew pew pew. I appreciate you guys being here in the chat, especially at this special time. Bobby, Two Gun, chill out, man. You son of a bitch. Evan. And you know, I'm gonna have to, because I do plan on making it next Thursday. We're gonna come back here. It'll be 1:30 Eastern time, 12:30 Central time. We're gonna be doing Grindhouse double feature. No thumbnail available. Which the movies are Planet Terror and what's the other one?
Death Proof.
Death Proof. I've never seen either of these movies, shockingly enough. So I'm super excited about it. We're talking about a Tarantino movie next week. I do want to, at one point, I want to pop in on a Thursday at the regular time to be like, hey, Rogue, hey, Sal, hey, everybody. So we'll figure that out. We'll get that done. Let people know that this is where we'll be at. So I appreciate you guys that were in the chat, and I appreciate you guys that aren't in the chat that normally would be here on a Thursday night. But Stu, my brother, again, no thumbs. But what you got going on, homie?
Yeah, man. Dr. Doom's Fan Club on IG and YouTube for great comic book content. Got some new stuff here, hopefully coming next day or two. So be on the lookout for that.
Hell yeah. Steph, are you on Lighthouse with me this Monday? I'm over on Pop Culture
Yes.
Philosophers. You are?
Oh,
All right.
nice.
So Steph will be there with me on Monday night, rocking Robbie's channel, Pop Culture Philosophers, 8 o'clock. Anything else going on,
Wild
Steph?
ass film.
No, catch me on the Instagrams, missing_comics. Post. I haven't been posted lately, but I do post cool shit as well, like Brother Stu. But yeah, I'll be here, and then Monday over at Robbie's. every
There's
Thursday.
a bunch of shit I'm not promoting. I've got way too much going on. Fuck. I'm not thinking about it. All right, Sunday at early. This is gonna be at like 11:30 in the morning Eastern time. I just hold it. I can get you in 2 seconds. I'll do an Evil Dead with Peter and Eric. Evil Dead 2 on Sunday with Peter and Eric. We did Evil Dead 1 during Horror Fest, went really well. And then, as I said, Monday night I'll be on Pop Culture Philosophers talking The Lighthouse. I've never seen it. Have you seen it, Steph?
No, I skimmed through it, but I couldn't, because it was on Netflix at one point. My homie was telling me to watch it, and I was just like, This is before I kind of got into Robert Eggers, you know. I was like, yeah.
All right, here, I got you. And then Tuesday over on Dr. Doom's Fan Club, we're going to be talking about Black Monday murders, which we had to postpone. So at what time on Tuesday?
9 p.m. Eastern.
9 p.m. Eastern, baby. Yeah. Be there, be square. You guys in the chat again, appreciate the shit out of you, and we're going to get up out of here. We'll see you next time.